we'll talk about when they were a bit luckier. 21 years ago today, Newcastle United beat Barcelona 3-2. John Barnes today has described it as the peak of Newcastle United. Would you agree with that statement?
I think, yeah. I mean, obviously it is some achievement, but to be honest, 21 years ago, I know we had Dalglish, but it was kind of a sign of the direction that you felt the club was going in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it was peaking.
Yeah. We were just about to build that new stand, Champions League football. Dalglish hadn't managed to absolutely destroy Keating's team by this point as well. Like, I think I can still name the starting 11. Given in goal, Beresford left back, Albert Barton right back. I struggle on the other centre half. Lee, Batty, Barnes, Gillespie, Thomason, and Aspria. And the other centre half was.
Go on.
Oh no, Steve Watson played right back. Warren Barton and Albert centre half.
Can you imagine that Warren Barton played in the game? Newcastle beat Barcelona 3-2.
Well, like an ancient John Barnes played in that game, like a well past it John Barnes at that point.
Who never got a chance to play.
And Shea Given, who must have been 20? No, maybe he was older than that. But a really, really young Shea Given.
Shea Given was starting out his career back then. That was when he kind of had that that massive. There was that big disagreement
Brian
between.
Penis? Who's he? Brian Penis, if anyone knows.
Can you imagine on the bench we had Ian Rush?
Wow.
But yeah, this was around the time when Srnicek was kind of getting pushed out of the team, and he had that in his autobiography, as I told. He had a big argument with about Given. So it was just when Given was breaking through.
Just sort of, it turned out to be the right decision, because I think.
Oh, definitely.
I love part of like Shea was probably a better goalkeeper.
Yeah.
At the peak of his powers.
Yeah.
My sort of memories of that game was going with my dad to the game. It was the first time we'd ever been in the Gallagher end.
Yeah.
And being surrounded by a cloud of smoke, because every single person in that ground was smoking that out, I'm sure. And the atmosphere just being absolutely out of this world. One of the first games I went to with my dad as well.
How old were you?
I would be in 7.
7. Oh, I was 9.
It's one of the first games I can sort of remember as well. That might also because I had the VHS and watched it relentlessly.
I think everybody did.
To the point where it got like those horrible like white, like fuzzy lines going across it, and then it just breaks. The good old days of VHS.
I think with that game, obviously, you know, like I was 9, and I don't think at the time you kind of realise how big of a deal that is.
Yeah, I don't think I did it. I think I just assumed
that's
that
what we do.
We were in Europe. Like,
yeah.
Because the year before, I think we'd been in the Europe Cup, and that was when we'd been knocked out of Monaco.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals. Fabian Barthez had cheated by fucking time wasting all the time. I think we'd played Rob Lee or Ginola had played up front against them as well. It was horrible. But at that age, I just assumed Newcastle United in Europe was just a thing.
I just assumed that we were one of the best teams in the world. To be honest, I mean,
yeah.
I think the shirt that I'm wearing now, you know, it's kind of close to Barcelona anyway. So.
Just like turn the stripes.
We were essentially the Barcelona of the UK.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I think like even earlier watching the highlights of that game, it is unbelievable when you see it. I didn't go.
Yeah.
I have the programme in my house from that match, but I didn't go to the game. And just watching it now, it is unbelievable. And you look at like the faces on people in the crowd, you know, like it just seems like one of those nights, one of those like everybody's just stood up. It's like it's deafening.
Yeah.
Nobody's sat down. It's like just like young Rajis.
It's one of them that we've not really had in our lifetime. Because even think in the Robson years when we were in the Champions League, all of our mint performances were away from home.
I think, I mean, not in terms of performance, but in terms of like, wow, we've just beaten someone big here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I went to the 1-0 Juventus game. Do you remember it was a clear own goal.
Yeah.
Who was it who kicked it? It was off. It went off Buffon and into the net. We won 1-0. And I was sat in the east stand.
Was Andy Griffin away?
It was Andy Griffin at home.
Andy Griffin.
And that's when we had that shirt, the blue shirt with the grey. It was all grey with a blue stripe in the middle and NTL home on the front. Yeah. I mean the Barcelona one. Obviously that's massive. They are like the biggest team in the world.
Yeah. That's
but
fair.
in our lifetime, we haven't had this.
No.
And this is where I feel sorry for people like my cousin who got his first season ticket 2 years ago. He's 13, 14, and he kind of like, probably the highlight of his Newcastle career is probably watching us beat Norwich 4-3 at St James's Park in the Championship season.
I'm trying to think, did you go to the Anzi game when we beat them 1-0 and Cisse scored in the last minute?
No.
The atmosphere, that was pretty spectacular. But apart from that, I'm really struggling to think these ones that I was at, they have like good European nights at St James's Park. Certainly nothing else in that European run that we had under Pardew, because I think we drew with Bruges at home.
No, I think the Pardew one, I think the excitement from that it wasn't the same. I think it was more just about the fact that, you know, the fans were like, we felt like we were kind of going back to what we were.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like, yeah, we're back into Europe. This is what we always did. We always used to push for this.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think my kind of like years of supporting Newcastle, I always think about like the Robson seasons, and that's when I was like, I had my first season ticket and I was going regularly home, and it was just that's kind of like, it felt like that's what we were. We were that kind of club.
Yeah.
We were a team who would be pushing to go into Europe every year, and you know, pushing to finish third, second in the Premier League.
Yeah.
We were right up there, and I think the Pardew one kind of felt like a novelty, but it was kind of exciting because we'd been through this before.
There was a weird sort of feeling around that time. Do you remember, like, it was still kind of fresh how much we hated Ashley, but that season sort of like pacified things for a little bit, and like it was almost like, has Mike Ashley realised what the club can do?
Yeah.
And then obviously, like, we would only sign Vernon and Anita, but it didn't. It was annoying, but it didn't seem quite as terrible.
I mean, he did score an unbelievable goal at Derby away.
Well, he scored an unbelievable one at Bruges as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done,
Two
Vernon.
girls with every goals.
Look at those two girls.
With every penny.
What's Vernon doing for you on the side? But yeah,
I think that Barcelona game, just watching it again, watching highlights of it, it's just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Like when Kalina, who was refereeing, with his absolutely psychotic face, when he blows to give that penalty, just like the whole atmosphere in the ground. And you look at it behind, you can see people like holding scarves up in the Gallagher. Everyone's just like going rad.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just fully expected that we're going to turn Barcelona around over.
something
St.
about
James's
that game as
Park.
well. Like Keith Gillespie was probably the best player in the world that day.
Absolute
Followed
animal.
very closely by Tino Aspria, who, as we were just saying, we watched the highlights before.
Yeah.
Like one of the headers, he could have jumped over 3 houses to get that ball. Like,
Yeah.
he's jumped so high.
Was it the third goal?
Yeah, I think
Where it's Lee
Yeah.
gives the ball to Gillespie from the edge of our box,
Yeah.
and Gillespie just runs.
he Lionel
Just
Messi did.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
It's like no one's getting near him.
Goes for miles, just running and running, and then just knocks an absolutely beautiful ball in, and then obviously Tino gets it, and then he's just stood there, just like shouting back at three lads from Fenham who were just shouting at him. It's belter, like.
Yeah, well, hopefully one day those days will come back, but I'm not holding my breath because Mike Ashley's Newcastle have got no business in the Champions League. Can you imagine the scenes though? We got in this year, like Modi always turning up at the San Siro next season. It's not happening.
I don't know, Modi Army would be the equivalent of Kieran Clark You know what? I'm actually just going to. Multi Army would be the equivalent of someone like Shola and not. I'm literally only saying it because they're two big, slow players who seem to come through with something.
Yeah. To be fair, that team did have Lane Batty who were mint. Beresford was pretty class. Thomason at the time was so shocking. He'd probably be getting a game from like Ashes Newcastle.
John Dal Thomason.
Yeah. Obviously went on to much better things, but
can you imagine having Darren Peacock on the bench as well?
What he'd give for Darren Peacock?